Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. So we're going to try to find ourselves a race here at Le Mans. Tonight, the ZRL practice for Thursday night's race is Le Mans. And also tomorrow, I have my full throttle Tuesdays with Simulation. It is also at Le Mans. It's a Le Mans week after Le Mans weekend, folks. So I'm just here looking. 3120, okay. 3738, but that's just GT's practice. These guys are already full, same here. 2438, but they are currently in a race. So, I guess I'm gonna go and practice in my own little world here while we get some viewers in and start having some discussions. There we go. Not many differences here. So we'll try this out. Where's the tire carcass? I'm not seeing it. Oh, here it is. You guys won't be seeing it because it's under my camera. Well, I'm still fooling around with tire temperatures. They are so off. Everybody's having the same issue. I've tried couple of different algorithms. Some work better than others. Some display overall more accuracy, but as the tires get into the high 70s, 80s, low 90s, then you find out that they're like 20 centigrade differences. Some will be more precise around that area. At lower temperatures, they'll be off by 20, 30 degrees. So they start being precise around 20. No matter which algorithm I decide to go with, seems it always takes a lap or two for it to start adjusting to be accurate. Rick? No. You know better. As we're getting into the 60s, there's starting to be discrepancy. Carcass seems the one that's closer. Rick, I'm gonna get mad. No. Okay, folks. Also, I got this new angle here, maybe that you guys would like. There we go. Let's get the microphone out of the way, though. There we go. So, testing out some new setups here. See, it's 20 degrees difference. Once we get into the 70s and 80s. Oh boy. Okay, well, I kind of tried something there. That backfired horribly.
Justin Slim Friesen says, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sir Justin. How are you today?
Justin Slim Friesen says, good you.
I am good, thank you for asking. Trying out the new setups. So both of my races this week are here on Le Mans. Oh, he just bumped into me. Oh, he actually gave me damage. Dang. Okay. That wasn't good. It's hidden a bit. Dang it. Okay, well, let's just leave it where it was then. Ugh, okay. So what have you been up to? Got my tires were cold again.
Justin Slim Friesen says nothing much, just sent off the application for one of the apartments. Hopefully, we'll find out soon if we're moving or not, lol.
Lol. Okay, well, another one that just hit me in the rear and gave me some damage. So I discovered a couple of things yesterday, trying to figure out if the screen can be compatible with SimHub. Actually, the search started with tire temperatures. What are people using to relay their tire temperatures? And they're like, well, Tiny Pedal uses the inner layer. So I tried that. It works nice up until 60 degrees, and then it kind of stays there. Except tires go all the way up to 90, so sticking around 60 is not the same. Now I'm checking out the carcass things, but I don't know how to go and get the carcass temperatures. They are in the race. They are in the race. Quali. That's full. Practice is full. That's full. And these are all private servers that are locked. Okay, well, seems we're going back to practicing these setups all by myself. Okay, I'm gonna go here. I still haven't set up the off camera for that camera, so we're gonna have to go here and jump here. There we go. So as I was saying, I did a couple of searches and discovered that the wheelbase and all the buttons and the lighting on the buttons and the LEDs for the rev and the flags can all be controlled by SimHub. Therefore, you don't even need the Moza pit house. And it's all the same settings. It transfers your settings from Moza pit house to SimHub. I just don't know if it uses less resources or the same amount. But I was thinking of maybe transferring it to SimHub. Therefore, I wouldn't have to run Pit House in the background.
Justin Slim Friesen says the dash doesn't work with SimHub, though, right?
No, the dash does not. But the dash is a standalone thing. I haven't tried it. I don't know if I need to run Moza in the background for the screen to work. But when you're doing the screen things, you upload it to the wheel. Like you create it in the pit house, but then you uploaded it to the wheel, and that's it. So I guess I could do a test here. As usually my rev lights will no longer work if I disable the pit house. And I don't know why I can't even disable it anymore. That's weird. Ah, another spam call.
One Mr. OMG says evening all.
Hello, Mr. OMG. So let's see here. Did Moza? Okay, so Moza did close out. I had to save my my profile, and I think my wheel just turned itself. I think the screen just turned itself off. Yeah, my wheel just went into sleep mode. I mean, it's still working, but
One Mr. OMG says I'm hoping to play this Thomas.
why are you hoping to play this tomorrow? Why not today? So yeah, I need to run it in the background for the LEDs and the screen to display. So okay, that answers my question. But again, if I transfer all the protocols to SimHub, I'll have to try it out, I guess.
One Mr. OMG says I'm waiting on my wheel coming.
Okay, what's the wheel that's coming? Always interested in seeing what people are getting. Now another supercar gonna clip me in the rear. Dang it. These AIs are getting worse and worse.
One Mr. OMG says Samagic Evo 9 with GT Neo and P700 pedals.
Oh, okay. So a whole bundle of stuff that you're waiting on. Up in here. So let's go here. There we go. And what made you go with Sim Magic? I'm curious. think we lost Mr. OMG. Not answering. Doesn't want to say why he went with some magic. I'm just curious because it's a very good wheel bases. I looked at the review for the Zeus wheels, and seems you need a whole bunch of other hardware to make stuff work, which people are not too happy about. On the other hand, you don't have to order a screen for every wheel. You can transfer them one to the other.
Justin Slim Friesen says, I think I'm gonna do some Le Mans practice myself.
Oh, do you want me to host one, Justin? I could do that. I haven't hosted it in a while.
One Mr. OMG says, in looking at getting the Zeus myself. Justin Slim Friesen says, up to you. I'll be on in about 2 minutes.
Okay, well, that answers my question. Let's host. Let's host one. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, I think... Okay, let's host it here. Race control. I'm gonna have to double check my settings because we don't want none of that tires times 3 thing. Okay. Okay, so we have the track, Le Mans WEC. Practice, 20 minutes. Qualifying, 10 minutes. Race, 30 minutes. Let's check the weather. Very important. Okay, settings. Okay, tire wear realistic, fuel times 2 because it's a 30 minutes, so be like a 60-minute race. Yeah, the Zeus and all that look good, but it's a complicated system that you can customize, but you kind of need all kinds of stuff. Okay. So I guess 2 minutes. He must be in his cockpit now. I can request this. And let's see how that goes.
Justin Slim Friesen says, server name.
It's gonna be Average Joe's Diabolical Championship kind of a thing. I didn't change the name of it.
Justin Slim Friesen says,
Probably be on the second page. Oh, it's because not too long ago somebody did a survey of what they wanted to. Oh, there it is. It's up and running, I hope. Yep, I can join. So I think the options were like SimiCube. I know it was Logitech, SimMagic, Fanatec, and Moza. And surprisingly enough, the choices were Logitech came in last, then SimMagic, then Fanatec, that were all pretty close to one another. And Moza had like 56 or 60% of the votes. Okay, hopefully it loads up adequately. And here we go.
Heraldic Maple says, yo yo, what up, Jeeps?
Hey Glenn, how are you today? Me and Justin are just practicing. Both of my races this week are here on Le Mans. Well, ZRL is also Thursday night's races at Le Mans. And we're just practicing a bit. I'm hosting a game.
Heraldic Maple says, doing well, just sitting in 3 all-day meetings today, tomorrow, and wed.
Meetings, alright. I'm just hosting a server here. We'll see how it goes. Races can get crazy.
Heraldic Maple says, why are you practicing, Dale? Won't be happy.
Well, Dell doesn't have anything against practicing. He just rather people race, right? So the reason why I have a practice session is for people to have time to see the server that I'm hosting, decide to join, so that we can at least have people to race with. If I'm hosting a server and I go straight to race, well then, if nobody has time to join the server, there's not going to be anybody to race with. So they can stuff it. I ain't doing this server for him, I'm doing it for us. And I still need practice keeping the car on the track, so I need all the practice I can get. Oh, so did you resolve your issue yesterday? Were you able to delete?
Heraldic Maple says BTW changed the lineup to the Maple crew.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Did you, were you able to delete?
Heraldic Maple says nope.
You cannot delete a lineup that you created?
Heraldic Maple says there is no way to remove.
Okay, I'm curious then. Okay, well then I'll never do that. But I'm thinking that maybe a workaround is to not have anybody in the lineup. Like maybe it won't let you delete it if there's people in the lineup.
Heraldic Maple says at this point, but LMU is working on that feature change.
Oh, okay. Did you ask Wolfie about that? Or did you just Google it up and found the information? Because like I said, Wolfie has like a dozen lineups. And it was annoying having
Heraldic Maple says they said to change the lineup title to unlisted or archived.
Oh, okay.
Heraldic Maple says yes, I did ask the Wolf.
Okay. Yeah, he would know more about it, because, like I said, it's one of the reasons I got out of the GT Endurance. One was because there's never anybody wanting to team up in Hypercars. Yes, you have Larson and Portis, but both of them are on another level. So I'm not going to drag them down with me, an average Joe. And there isn't any other average Joe hypercar drivers, so what was the point of me being in an endurance if there's no other drivers? But I had to scroll through the 20 liveries to get to mine. And it was just annoying the bejesus out of me. So I just got out of that.
Heraldic Maple says well I couldn't race with you, cause I am a below average JOE, so you would be much better than me.
Man, stop saying that. Look, in the last race, you were doing great. You were way ahead of me. If you and that other guy hadn't gotten into a scrape, you would have had me beat. But then there's the different time zones, like, you know, the guys get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do the endurance races on the weekend.
One Mr. OMG says I can't race with you.
You can't race. Nobody can race with me, apparently. It's all good. But yeah, I think it's like 5 o'clock Eastern that the guys are waking up to do the 4-hour and 8-hour endurance on the weekends.
One Mr. OMG says, I've not even opened the game yet, lol.
Lol. Well, once you open the game, do your 10 races and get your gold safety ranking so that you can drive hypercars. Not yet. Hypercars is not for everybody either.
Heraldic Maple says I'm not going to get up on the weekend. To race, that's my sleep in days.
That's what I'm saying, it's not just a question of just being an average Joe that wants to have fun racing. Crash or burn, let's just have fun. And I think the other race is like at 11 o'clock or noon. And by then, well, people don't want to sit down in their rig for 4 hours because there goes their Saturday afternoons. And an 8-hour race, well, then there goes the weekend. And some people, want to do stuff with their spouse. Or they got kids, soccer practice and matches and stuff, so it's not an easy, schedules are not easy, finding people, not easy. I'm 15 seconds off base here.
Heraldic Maple says Justin almost had me for the Le Mans 24 HR.
That would have been interesting. That's something that you could have streamed. Thing is that YouTube only allows streaming up to 5 hours. So every 5 hours...
Heraldic Maple says, but he was joking.
Every 5 hours you gotta reset the stream. Oh, I could have cut my time by 5 seconds or something. Oh well. I'm happy with my tire temperatures, happy with everything there. So let's go back to the garage. Okay, let's set up a smoke screen here. Before the race starts. Justin, so far the only GT driver that has put in lap times. Lots of rookies in here. Damn, a lot of people have picked up the game recently. Okay, Tart Plate, I'm gonna keep an eye on him because he's returning from a ban. And if he crashes into other people, I'm gonna ban him. Especially with a name like that. His name means A flat pie.
Vereldig Maples says we did get third in our split. In our last time we did LM24 HRS together. One Mr. OMG says it's cost. It's on sale at Min. Vereldig Maples says it's got me at rookies, but I have over 40 races.
Yeah, I know, I know. You're not the only one. For a long time, I think Portis and Larson and a couple of other guys were still rookies because they weren't interested in doing ranked races. They only play with friends in the hosted races, so eventually a couple of guys decided to go and get rid of that badge, but they were racing a long time with. Okay, I need to probably load up a bunch of liveries here.
Vereldig Maples says I will get mine eventually. Mike Wolf BLN says S up.
Hey, Mike. Hellos. Just hosting a race here. You still have 15 minutes if you want to join us. Just checking to make sure I don't need to ban anybody. Ooh, not many GTs here.
Mike Wolf BLN says nah, my legs are sore. Was out with GF yesterday.
Okay, okay.
Vereldig Maples says I don't know if changing to the Ferrari was a good choice. Oh well.
Well, I mean, the Ferrari is better than the Porsche.
Vereldig Maples says maybe I should have chosen the Caddy or the BMW.
Well, a lot of esport people have been using the BMW, so it's like one of the fastest in the straight. But Toyota won first and third place at the Le Mans. So, also the Ferrari is going to have four-wheel drive in case there's rain in the races, like the Toyota and Peugeots. So that's always a plus.
Vereldig Maples says well, the Porsche is no longer in the WEC.
Well, like I keep saying, just drive what you want to drive. I tried the Ferrari. I was actually going to switch to the Ferrari. But honestly, the turbo squealing and the brakes are so noisy. And the car can be a little bit nervous to drive. Then I tried the Toyota and fell in love with the Toyota, so I'm happy it won the Le Mans. It's a good car. Easy to drive.
Mike Wolf BLN says, pity, they broke the pod so much. Veraldig Maple says, yes, I agree with the turbos and brakes are annoying. Mike Wolf BLN says, really unfair.
Yeah, Peugeot's really got bopped. Well, it's to make the Toyota look good. But if you look at the Le Mans, they didn't do much either. Both Peugeot and Ferraris were kind of out of the race. Practice is coming to a close.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yeah, was watching with my Italian friend. Mike Wolf BLN says he was not happy.
Well, let's face it though. Ferrari won it 3 years in a row. This would have made 4. I mean, you know how people feel when there's only one team that's always dominating? So I think that Ferrari are kind of taking the break this year. They're just going with the flow and having fun rather
Mike
than
Wolf
trying to
BLN
perform.
says, I agree with that also. Veraldig Maple says, I will enjoy the Ferrari, but focus will be on iRacing and grid rivals.
Well, yeah. After seeing your video, seems like that grid rival thing is something that you wanted to be part of for a long time. So I get it.
Veraldig Maple says LMU is going to be just for fun.
As it should be. Any game should be for fun.
Mike Wolf BLN says, always nice to see a battle, no matter what.
Yep. Oh, Mike, did you watch the F1 this weekend? Ferrari won the race. So did Hamilton. Guy's not over the hill yet at 41.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yeah. Mike Wolf BLN says, go someone else finally won.
See, that's the thing, you know, if Kimi's gonna win every single race all the time, it gets boring. Already that this year is so boring.
Mike Wolf BLN says, sad for Kimi, though I wanted him to beat George.
No, I want George to win.
Veraldig Maple says, yes, Lewis, you baby.
George has had so much bad luck with his car dying on him this year that it's about time that it happened to Kimi.
Mike Wolf BLN says only thing I want is George to be in last place, the rest is a bonus.
Well, I think that Stroll is gonna end up in last place. Like, I know he's Justin's favorite driver, but Lance Stroll just doesn't have what
Justin
it takes.
Slim Friesen says, lol.
And there's a lot of hypercars in this race. 16.
Justin Slim Friesen says, not a Russell fan, I'm guessing Mike. Veraldig Maples says no, I don't want George or Leclerc to win, they are acting like babies. Mike Wolf BLN says Strlovich. Mike Wolf BLN says, the real Big Maple, yeah. Mike Wolf BLN says Justin Slim Friesen nope, hate him, since the Bottas crash.
I think Justin also likes Leclerc quite a bit.
Justin Slim Friesen says, oh, that's right, I remember discussing that a while ago. Mike Wolf BLN says, yup. Justin Slim Friesen says, I do like Leclerc, yup. Justin Slim Friesen says, TBH I like them all.
So far, everybody's been behaving here.
Veraldig Maple says, I'm so glad that Lewis is now kicking Leclerc's arse, let the baby whine about his brakes and steering, and it's not me, it's the car.
Well, sometimes it is the car. I know I'm always blaming the setups.
Mike Wolf BLN says, did you see the BRMBO factory posted a joke about Leclerc?
No, I did not see that.
Justin Slim Friesen says he learned from Lewis Law. Mike Wolf BLN says, lol.
Well, Verstappen is also blaming the car this year, so...
Mike Wolf BLN says yes, Justin Lewis is a sulky boy, also.
Well, they always want the best car. Let's face it, those guys are not in my situation. I play for fun, you know, they have salaries and stuff at the end of their races. And sponsorships and all that stuff.
Veraldig Naples says, well, you can learn from the dope mic drop. Mike Wolf BLN says Verstappen car is crap this year, they have the best engine but worst battery and aero, not so good without NEWB. Mike Wolf BLN says, did Latifi enter the chat? Justin Slim Friesen says, you talking about Max Glenn? Veraldig Maples says, OMGF no. Veraldig Maples says the GOAT is Lewis Hamilton. Come on.
Well, he's also second place in the championship points, so who knows what is going to happen this year.
Justin Slim Friesen says, you mean Merc Glenn? Justin Slim Friesen says, lol.
You guys make no sense.
Justin Slim Friesen says, dude was behind Bottas a few times for good parts of seasons. Veraldig Maples says, yep, he's on fire, and the whole grid better watch out when he's on a roll. He's going to get his 8th. Mike Wolf BLN says, would be funny if Lewis steals the CH championship from Merc. Justin Slim Friesen says he's got a good chance. He's looking great right now.
I mean, he would have to really do well, and Kimi would need to have a lot of bad luck for that to happen, though.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yup, Kimi Young making a few mistakes, but he's in the best car.
I don't know about that. I mean, all the...
Veraldig Maple says, yeah, if he steals sit from Merc Toto, we'll be up celebrating with Lewis.
Yep, these two are gonna wreck eventually.
Justin Slim Friesen says, and, or Kimi and Russell, take each other out a few time you can smell that coming also. Veraldig Maple says he's only 70-some points back. There is still 3/4 of the season to go. Veraldig Maples says, oh yeah, Kimi and George, taking each other out.
It would be interesting.
Mike Wolf BLN says, yup, George should have got a penalty for his dodgy defense on Kimi.
Oh, I think both of them should get penalized. Because a few times Kimi almost ran into Russell. Missing his break point.
Mike Wolf BLN says I said lap 60, they will come together. Justin Slim Friesen says, alright, HF.
Yep. Good luck and have fun. Man, there's a lot more hypers than GTs in this one.
Their Albig Maple says UGLHF Justin Slim Friesen. Mike Wolf BLN says, missing a breakpoint is one thing Jeeps without contact, it's not intention, and not a penalty, but what George did was against the rules and dirty driving.
I think Kimi's personally, I think he's a little bit overzealous. He's reckless. He's taking chances that he shouldn't. And he should be more patient. Let Russell make a mistake. Put pressure on him, but let him make a mistake and then capitalize on it. Instead of continuously overdriving the car, forcing the issue. Then again, I mean, we're going back to the Senna-Prost years where they would get into it.
Mike Wolf BLN says, oh yeah, he's super young, but that doesn't mean he should be forced off the track. Their Albig Maple says, okay, back to work. GLHF GPS Media Live. Maybe we will see it tonight.
Alrighty then. There's...
Their Albig Maple says I will be on at 630 my time.
Okay, I don't know. I don't do conversions. My brain doesn't work that way, but I got practice tonight with ZRL, and then I'll join your stream.
Their Albig Maple says, well, have fun in practice. Their Albig Maple says later.
Laters.
Microwave BLN says, lol.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna get crazy.
Microwave BLN says, lol. Microwave BLN says, lol. Microwave BLN says, lure.
That's some crazy stuff happening.
Microwave BLN says, low skilled hot lappers. He's catching up to me quickly, though. That was a big penalty.
Well, I'm braking in the braking zone, so whether I brake early or not, that's up to me.
Mike Wolf BLM says yeah.
Ooh! Dang it. Whoa! Yeah, once you spin out, it's easier to spin out again. Dang it. These flat spots. That's my fault though. I braked way too late into that corner. My tires are still a little bit too toasty here. Just try to be careful not to lose it here. Until that temperature comes down a little bit. Is he running into everybody? Oh, he's on cold tires. Hey, there's no more. Whoa! My tires are really scorched. Left, right side there, rear, right side. Not in a good shape. Do I need to come in this lap or next lap?
Mike Wolf BLN says, Mike Wolf BLN says InfoSpring will tell you. Now it says 55 required. Oh well, whatever.
So much of this car setup relies on the tires. Dang it. I think I could have stayed out for another lap. It would have been better. And not having to put in as much fuel. Says I needed 70, and once I get to my pit stop, it says 50. Well, the info screen is lying. Whoa, no, 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 no. Dang it. Yeah, so much of this car is tires, and one of them goes and they all start. Dang it. I think my tires are running a bit too hot too. It would be okay for hard tires, but I think this is a little bit too warm for mediums. Dog nabbit. Huh, 1 minute left. Hopefully I won't lose any more positions. Hey, Harrison did a nice comeback. That's the Ferrari that ran into my rear, and he's currently sitting in first. It's too bad, because up until that time, I was actually catching up to folks. If I had a good pit strategy, that could have helped. And running the tires a little bit cooler would also help. Whoa! Oh man, this is nuts. I still did good though, avoiding all those accidents there. Yeah, I misjudged the fuel too, but I was listening to my info screen. I got way too much fuel. Wonder how the race went for the GTs, because we haven't come across any GTs. Oh, what happened to Harrison to DNF? Hey, I could have been on the podium. That other guy, does he have enough fuel to get himself to the end? That 1%, he must be flying on fumes. Oh, he finished. I didn't see it go down to 0, so he probably just had enough to finish. I gotta watch that guy coming behind me because he's so close. If he doesn't have any track penalties, he can cut that track there at the end and take it away from him. Whew. Yeah, that could have gone better, but overall I'm happy. What? All the GTs did not finish? Only Justin finished, and we never came across him. Damn. What happened to all the GTs? Like, the two of them didn't even start? What happened? That was crazy. Well, chat is pretty quiet all of a sudden as well. Ooh.
Justin Slim Friesen says only one other GT3 started the race, and he DNF'd before the end of L1 lol.
Really? Oh boy. Did you get passed by any hypers or anything? 'Cause I never saw you on the track. Lol. But bummer that there wasn't more GTs in the race.
Justin Slim Friesen says P1 and 2. Justin Slim Friesen says that's it.
Damn, okay. How were the accidents in the first 2 laps? Man, it was crazy. I kept seeing people wiping out in front in my rear view mirror all over the place. The first 2 laps were crazy. And every time a Ferrari would spin out, Mike would be lol.
Justin Slim Friesen says lol a lot of cars, littering the ditches.
Yep, that's one way of putting it. Oh, wow. Crazy, crazy. Man, they were going into the ditch right, left, and center. It was a real obstacle course to avoid everything all the time. It was funny. Well, I'm sorry there wasn't more GTs in this race, though. Not yet. So I figured out that my setup is good, but my tires run way too hot. So for practice tonight, I'm gonna tweak it a bit.
Justin Slim Friesen says, no worries, good practice, regardless.
Yeah, it was. Well, for me, it was. It was a lesson in crash avoidance. Then my pit strategy was really crappy. Like, I'm pretty sure I had enough fuel to go another round, and then for not have to put as much fuel the next time around. But Mike was like, oh, look at your info thing. So it says I need to put 70%. And as soon as I stop in my stall, it says 50%. Well, 20% is a big difference, you know. Not only am I pitting early, I could have run lighter for longer. But then I'm putting way too much fuel, so I'm a lot heavier.
Justin Slim Friesen says, tis.
I don't know what "tis" mean, but I hate that info stuff. You guys were always more accurate than whatever it would say. But okay, I guess it's time for me to go on a walk with the cats. It was raining all morning. Now it seems okay-ish. Then gotta cook my supper, and then time for practice tonight. So, okay, thank you guys for joining in and keeping me company, and boy was that funny. You guys talking about F1.
Justin Slim Friesen says, K later, thanks for the host.
You're welcome. I enjoy hosting. More fun than me practicing all by myself in the offline server thingy. Okay, catch you laters.